Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. Today I promised to do the Frames and Flowers designer paper because it has all these great punch outs, and I know you can't even see it in this catalog, so I'm going to show you all what they look like in person. And I think I have 7 projects to show you using them. But page 29, they're down here at the bottom. And there are 3 solid sheets of paper, and then this is what the back sides look like. And then these 3 sheets of punch outs. So these are what the 3 pieces of 12 by 12 look like. This one with that peachy, pumpkin-y papaya look on the back. And a white one, which I've already used part of that one. Love that. There's so many colors in this that it's super, super easy to use what you have because, my goodness, look at all these colors in here. Everything from olives to the limes to the granny apples, the shaded spruce, corals, petal pink, pumpkin pie, lost lagoon, pretty peacock, and if you still have it, tranquil tide looks amazing with this. If you still have some of that, if you have the soft succulent, that's amazing with it. I mean, mint, it's got so many colors and shades of greens in it. You can really make it work for lots of different things. I should have saved you a new kit to look at, but I used it. So the punch outs all look like this, basically. You get 3 sheets of these. And when it gets to this point, I pull them all out and put them in a bin because I like to look through them and see what I have. And I don't know, I feel more creative this way by taking them out. Once they get to this point, I'm like, I can't handle it. I have to punch them all out. So there are a lot of pretty leaves and stems and flowers and things in them. And they're paper. I mean, they're not heavy, but they do the job okay. And a lot of them are quite large. I'll show you what they all look like these big wreaths. I mean, they're good size. And then there's one big sheet that has a bunch of these panels in it. And a lot of them are frames that you can pop out and use for frames. So it's pretty cool for quick and easy cards. I gotta say, I've been enjoying using them all. Except that the wreaths are quite large. And so on this one, I did a 5 by 7 card, which costs the same to mail in a 5 by 7 envelope. So it works pretty well. I did this on petal pink. I don't think I have to show you how to make this one. This one's pretty easy. I just cut out a little piece of the petal pink, stamped my greeting, put this on there with dimensionals, put a little piece of that designer paper on this side on the pretty peacock, and then just added a couple little flowers and sequins and a little bow. I mean, really easy. That one's easy. So I like this one a lot. Super easy on this one. It's just one piece. It looks like that, and I popped it out and I stamped on it, and then I just took a paper punch, like a hole puncher, punched 2 holes like that, and then I ran a little piece of ribbon through, tucked it under. It's not even, it's like literally a little piece like this that I just ran through and glued it under. And then on this one, I just took a 5-inch piece of ribbon and tied it through there. And that's it. And then I layered it on a piece of pretty peacock and then a layer of the designer paper. That's the back side of one of those. Yeah, that's the back side of this one. But you could just take a piece and emboss it too. And pretty peacock. And that's it. What I like about these little corner pieces is you could make them gift card holders. Or you could tuck little things, you know, down in the corners of these. There's a bunch of these little corners. So it'd be cute to tuck a little gift card in there. And sequins, of course, some shiny stuff on there. I love this new ribbon. This is the iridescent ribbon. It's very soft. It's a little wrinkly, but I don't mind it. It's just got some real pretty, it's like organza with iridescent shine in it. It's very pretty. This one is one of the frames. It's very, very flat to mail, but it would be really easy to pop it up a little bit. So this is one of the frames, and that just pops out of the center. And I did Lost Lagoon I mean, see how you could just go, it's like a chameleon paper. It goes with so many different things. Now you could just, these are all about 3 3/4 by 5-ish. So you could layer them up. I'm gonna make this one pop up a little bit. So this is just some basic white. And then I'm gonna put this on the inside. Let's try this, let's see what it looks like. Think of that on the inside. And then this one I'm gonna pop up. Now you could make it a shaker card also. That would be kind of cool. Where are my little dimensional sheets? So much easier than these guys, but that's okay. Cover that up. Yeah. And then here's one of those little embellishments, those ephemeras. Could do friend. I kind of like hello. So I would glue that on, and then one of these guys right here, and then of course a little flower. And when they're very flat like that, I like to pop them up a little bit. So just take something and kind of press them in a little bit, see? And then the twine. But so either way, looks good. If you need something really flat, this works great. But I kind of like all the extra dimension on that one and the pattern behind it. This one I wanted to start going into different colors, so I did Calypso Coral. And I think it really works well with coral too. You could also make this a different background, but what I did is I took that wood paper. It's $5 for 2 big sheets, 12 by 12 sheets, which is nice. And I took these 2 layering dies. I think these are the Countryside Corner dies. So I cut out a larger one and took that out. And then I cut out a smaller coral. And then I just layered them back together again. So I added a little bit of ribbon here and here, popped this up with dimensionals, and then added this right here on coral, of course, and then added that. Actually, I don't mind it with the green either. I just added that to the side. If I had thought about it more, I would have scooted that over just a little bit, my sentiment, but I embossed it with white, so. And then just pop that up. A little Wink of Stella, a little bird. I think it's pretty. Very pretty. And there's, you know, if you wanted to, if you had a big enough one, you could go 2. That's a little crowded. But if you spread them out a little bit and had something different, where you could go this way with it. So these are very handy little guys. This one I did with Lost Lagoon and Early Espresso. I took one of these panels here, and just to add a little bit of interest, see, I could just layer that on there, and it layers perfectly on a 4 by 5 1/4, and then put that on the card. I could just do that and be done, but just to add a little more interest, I came in with my cutter, and I cut off about 1.5 inches on one side, right here, and then I took off about 1.5 inches on the bottom of one, and then you're going to need to take off just a smidgen, just to make sure it layers okay. And on this one, I should have put it up here so you can see it better. Go here, so that would glue here, and here, and a little bit up here. So it just gives it a little bit extra something something. And then just a sentiment, and then I added, you can add one of these, right? So you could do that and add your sentiment right here. So super, super easy, and a little flower and some twine. This one might be one of my favorites. I love this one. I was at the post office, and there was a card that just had paper, and it was very flat. It had a paper rolled like for flowers, and then the flowers in it. I thought, well, we can do that. That's easy. So let me show you how to make this. I did a 3 by 3 piece of the designer paper, and you fold it. So there's a little point down there, fold right there, and fold it over like an ice cream cone kind of, or a baby blanket or something like that, and then just glue it. Then kind of popped it open a little bit like that. And then you can shove your flowers in. I put them in with dimensionals. So I put a little dimensional on the back so it would stick in there, like right there. and another little dimensional on the back of this one. And then if you have an extra little flower, like something like that, and there's your little flower bouquet. And then I just layered it all up. So I've got pretty peacock, and then a layer of the designer paper, a layer of peacock, a layer of the designer paper, and I put this on sideways and left my sentiment straight. And this is one of those ephemera sentiments, the ones that I showed you a couple weeks ago, like a whole bunch of them. So I've got them all sitting here, and I just grabbed it and stuck it on there. A little twine at the bottom. I love that one. Rhinestones, of course, make everything more happy. And this is the last one. This one I did just sort of the old acetate in the middle, like that. I wanted to bring in some different colors. And I want to show you what I did on this one because look how different they look. Same one, but I wanted to do more of a bright green. So I brought in my blends, and I brought in my yellows and my greens. And any place there was pink, I just went over it and made it more yellow. I really wanted that citrus and to not do pink on this one. So I went in with my blends, a little bit better than that, and then came back in with my Granny Apple greens. And believe it or not, when you're done, I mean, it's pretty amazing how it looks. It looks very citrusy. So you can go back in and you can color these. Do the light Granny Apple green to start, and then when it dries, it looks really nice. Blend it with some yellow. So any place you see yellow on here was originally blue. So I just turned it more citrus. So to do this one, I did a Granny Apple green card. This was one of those panels, and I cut it down to 4 1/4. Now you could cut these down to 4 inches and put a layer on the back also, if you want to save on your paper, but I don't mind it. So I'll show you how I cut the middle out. So this is 4 1/4 by, I think, 2 1/2, and this one is 1 1/2 here. And then I added some of that olive glimmer paper. This comes in a pack of white, berry burst, and olive. So I'm going to add some glue on the bottom. And depending on how big you want your window, I want it right about there. A little more glue on the back. I just screwed it with my thumb on there. And I think I'm going to put this one a little higher just because I want just a little window there. And now I have a place to cut. So I could leave it like this and put my sentiment on there, but I want that acetate to show through. So I'm just going to bring in my cutter. I'm going to cut these 2 panels off right there, right where the glimmer paper ends. Here and here. I know you've seen this card before, but it's always a good refresher. All right, see? And now we can add the acetate. So take a piece of your window sheet. It needs to be, I liked it to cover here and here. And you want some of that sticky strip, some of this tear and tape stuff. You want it to be skinny and straight. So I find like this stuff works really well for that. It gives you a nice edge to follow. Oh, no nails. There we go. Clear window sheet. And keep it nice and straight right there. All right. And then the bottom piece, right? So it's going to go like this. So we're going to put some right here across this bottom. Nice and straight. And now line that up with the bottom of your card so it's nice and straight. There. And there it is. There's your bridge. So it just is a nice little extra something something. And then you can add whatever you wanted. I added this, the one that I colored. And I added another one of these ephemeras. I just attached it here and one little glue dot under there. Which I did. So you could, like I said, you could put another piece behind it if you wanted that extra layer, but I kind of like it just as is. I put a little strip of white here, so you could write something here and write something down here. And then I'm not going to write in the middle, because otherwise you would see it. So I highly recommend the frames and flowers because I think they're fun. I think they're versatile. They're really great. In a few hours, you can put together a lot of different cards and have fun playing with it all. All right, we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.